All right, so before we get out of here, let's talk about the Minnesota Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And just as a final reminder, check us out as of next week on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Check us out. And don't forget that if you don't get next week's episode, resubscribe. We've been getting some nice comments on YouTube.
Oh, we have? Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody told us, keep up the good work.
Okay.
Yeah, which is, you know.
What? Yeah, but they could be like, keep up the good work, Stivs.
Yeah, I mean, that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
And we've got a few nice comments on Castbox, and we've got one nice comment on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, I don't even know what Castbox is.
It's just another podcast listening
good.
platform.
That's nice.
Yeah, I won't mention the comments because they make fun of some colleagues. No, it doesn't make fun of colleagues. Anyways, neither here nor there.
Okay.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Minnesota Wild.
Right.
A lot of people are picking this team to be a dark horse at this point. With everyone calling them so underrated, is there a chance that they are basically reaching overrated?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I think that's legit. You know, I think now that
you put them the top of tier 2. So like if tier 1 is Colorado,
I don't know if I put them top of tier. Yeah, they're in tier 2.
But that's what a dark horse.
Yeah, they're in tier 2.
Is
yeah, they're in
me.
tier 2. They're in tier 2. Yeah, for sure.
But the top of tier 2.
They're right up. They're close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your tier 1 is Colorado, Panthers, Tampa.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't think so?
Yeah. I mean,
Calgary.
Yeah.
You could maybe put in tier 1. Then the top of tier 2 would be Minnesota, then Toronto.
You wouldn't have Carolina at the top of tier 1? Yeah, I'd have Carolina in tier 1.
They were actually, and speaking of these two teams,
they lost
Carolina was letting in a few stinkers against Minnesota the other day.
Yeah.
That was not a good look for the Carolina Hurricanes. And I won't get into that. Some of the comments about Freddie Anderson and like how like he just, there's something bizarre about Freddie Anderson where no matter where he is, like he can do no evil. Every time that he makes a mistake, people just jump on to like, oh no, he was reading it like this. It's like, well, stop a puck.
Yeah.
know?
Just stop it.
Yeah, that would be helpful. But so you'd put Minnesota towards the top of tier 2.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah. Not like they're not. I'd put them towards the top.
Yeah.
I mean, Toronto's in tier 2, I assume.
That's who I'd put at the top of tier 2.
Yeah. I think they sort of vacillate between tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes they look like tier 1 and other times they look like tier 2.
Yeah. Well, we won't know until we see them in the playoffs.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Dumba injury is going to hurt them. Yeah. That's really going to hurt them.
To me, it seems like a lot of people are in love with the story of the Minnesota Wild. Like there's a very, like if they win the cup this year, there will be a movie about it. because it's kind of so perfect.
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to be this good.
No.
And then they just became this good. Then they trade for Marc-Andre Fleury, right? A lovable veteran, right? And then and next year they're going to run into such huge cap problems that this won't be an option again next year.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
you don't think so?
I don't know. Teams always seem to find a way to sign the guys they need to.
To finagle?
Yeah. And when you're as good a GM as Bill Guerin is, I think, well, their cap problems are going to be largely because the buyouts are really, they sting.
Parise.
They start to sting in the next couple of years. They're really, really like, it's what, between the two of them, it's like $7 million in cap space.
I think it's more.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's obviously going to be a huge factor. But what Bill Guerin was pretty bold with this roster. I mean, he buys out Suter, he buys out Parise, he lets Devin Dubnyk walk, he lets Eric Stahl walk. And so what happens? Then you get guys like Marcus Foligno and Ryan Hartman and Kevin Fiala and guys like that going, okay, now we've got to pick it up. This is our team now, and we've got to bring it. And they're doing that,
Can I tell you, next year,
Yep.
6.37 million
each.
The year after that, 7.37 each. The year after that, also 7.371. and then it goes
Yeah.
down to
And then,
833,000. There's a little bit of like you know what I mean? Like movies love to make an artificial deadline, right? Like they you know, like a good movie narrative is
Yeah.
like, this is your last chance to win that legal thing, or else you're being fired from the firm and your wife's leaving you. And you know, life doesn't really work like that. Like
Yeah.
I screw up constantly and my life's doing just fine, right? But life doesn't really, but that's like how movies work. But that's kind of, it just makes me think of this Minnesota Wild team where it's just sort of like, next year you've got $13 million in unspendable money,
and basically a flat cap. So
and
you've
basically
got,
a flat cap.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if part of the reason why this is really caught on as a story is because there's a narrative here that's really fun.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think people look that far ahead, to be honest with you. I just think this is a team that's overachieved. They're better than people thought. They're a pretty good team. They're not a great team.
Yeah.
But they're also a team that, you know, I mean, you could see them getting hot in the playoffs. You could see them putting it together and winning a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I mean, I don't think they will win the Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
but I think they have the potential to be a fun story to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching a few of their games and stuff, you know, kind of in preparation for talking about them today. And they are offensively.
Yeah, they're very non-Minnesota Wild like. That's the other thing here is that they're not. These are not your father's Minnesota Wild.
Yeah,
or even your older brother's Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
The Koivu years are gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, even like a guy like Joel Eriksson Ek, who I've always liked as just one of those great hard-nosed grinder type players. Yeah, he's got 40 points this year.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's great to see guys like that. And then of course Kirill Kaprizov is 87 points in 68 games. You know, outrageous. Matt Zuccarello, 71 and 61. Kevin Fiala, 61 and 69 games. This is an interesting team. And I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury, I hardly think of as a slam dunk in net.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, Marc-Andre Fleury is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially in the playoffs, right? So, yeah, I don't see him as a slam dunk in net, but he is the kind of guy that, you know, he might just carry them to a Stanley Cup final.
Gets on a heater.
He did that with Vegas.
Yeah.
That's not too long ago, and he's playing well. He's got like, I was actually just looking up his save percentage. It's I can tell you in just 1 second. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that he was close to the top. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
not.
It's something like a 915 or something like that.
He's not close to the top. I mean, he was really good in Chicago. He was really good. And he's been quite good in Minnesota.
Oh, there you go. He's got a 930 in Minnesota.
Right.
That's
Right.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
He's got a 930 since he joined the Minnesota Wild. Now that's 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
But
Small body of work. Yeah.
But he was getting very little help in Chicago.
He's getting no help in Chicago. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was being nice.
Yeah.
Like, let me just try to turn over a new leaf once in a while, okay? I was trying to be nice.
Okay.
He's getting very little help in Chicago, and he's getting more help in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's putting up a 930. So maybe. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
OHL Cup. I was at the OHL Cup the other night.
Yeah.
A team called the Mississauga Senators won it.
Yeah.
And there's a kid by the name of Michael Miza on that team. He's a person you want to remember.
You wrote about him for the Toronto Star.
And for my Substack as well, kencampbell.substack.com. But
you took my line, buddy. You never step on another person's lines.
Sorry about that. No, but this kid, you know, I mean, it's interesting because he's applied for exceptional player status to play major junior hockey as a 15-year-old next year. All through the tournament and before the tournament, every scout, every agent I talked to, everybody I talked to was like, there's 3 kids who have applied, none of them are getting it.
Right.
And then this kid goes and he breaks Connor McDavid's record in the OHL Cup scoring record, has 10 goals, 20 points in 7 games, including 3 and 2 in the final game. They win 6-2, and he has 3 goals and 2 assists. He's in on 5 of the goals. Like it was a dominant performance by any metric.
Mm-hmm.
And, I look back and I mean, okay, so they say, okay, well, it's he's playing in a more watered down league. Well, maybe, I don't know, but he's still the best one. And secondly, I do know that the year Connor McDavid got his exceptional player status, he had no points in the OHL Cup final. They got beat 1-0 by the Mississauga Rebels.
Right.
And this kid had 5 points. I mean, I get the sense that the worm is turning here and that I think we're going to see this kid in the Ontario Hockey League next year.
Yeah.
His name's Michael Misa. He's 15 years old. He's dynamic. He's skilled as all get out. And I think he's going to be a top prospect. He's going to be a special player. He's not going to be Connor McDavid, Connor Bedard special, but he's going to be damn good.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting to watch how that shakes out.
Yep.
Mississauga is not in the GTHL, is it?
They are. They
are.
Yeah, it's weird. They are in the GTHL.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it's not really that watered down of a league.
Well, there's
It's
3
against the Marlies and the Junior Canadians.
Yeah.
And,
the Marlies and the Junior Canadians and Mississauga are the good teams, and then there's a lot of really it drops off real quick after that.
I've got a student on one of those
Oh,
dropped off
teams. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's getting a lot of scouting.
Probably getting a lot of reps too. Yeah.
He is getting that.
Yeah.
He is getting that. All right, so thanks so much for sticking around. You can get this episode, other full episodes, and of course, Ken's writing at kencampbell.substack.com. Don't forget, we're joining the Hockey Podcast Network, if I haven't already said that once or twice today. And so check us out on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a lot more interesting stuff with them, some live Q&As, all kinds of great stuff. And of course, if you don't get next week's episode, please re-look it up on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, CastBox, whatever. And just in case there was a bit of an interruption there with the Hockey Podcast Network as we go over to their servers. And of course, please leave a comment or a review. We appreciate all of them. We appreciate all of you. Take care.